I need to share this absolute fire from smoke right away. So let's get started with XRP, everyone. This is the offer. Because of the constant round-the-clock trading, cryptocurrency prices can fluctuate quickly. I'm referring to how the old, traditional market rhythms that center on exchange opening hours and closing bells are totally upended by this constantly active trading nature. What distinguishes cryptocurrency from conventional assets? Because of this constant trading environment, cryptocurrency markets respond to regulatory bombshells and breaking news as soon as they occur, literally day or night. Simply put, cryptocurrency is always in motion, and once CME opens its gates in 2026, institutional capital will flood in like a tidal wave. Previously, trading movements waited for Wall Street's business hours. There will be no delays at all, as those are set to execute immediately. Imagine this situation. The heavy hitters, institutional investors, will be investing in this ecosystem around the clock, and it will undoubtedly be completely crazy to watch that happen. However, that is the exact reason why the stock market is also adopting blockchain technology. They are also committed to enabling round-the-clock stock market trading. Because let's face it, an increasing number of stock market investors will simply move their portfolios to the cryptocurrency world if they do nothing. Okay, so imagine this. Cryptocurrency trading that literally never stops, day or night. The dream that everyone is pursuing is that one. Well, this is where it becomes completely crazy though. Well, we're talking about large institutional players flooding the market with cash at 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the morning. This audacious prediction was just made by Cameron Scrubs of Tradeship University. This guy is putting all of his money on XRP taking the lead by 2030. Listen to what he has to say. XRP will take precedence over both Bitcoin and Ethereum. He is absolutely certain that XRP will surpass Ethereum this cycle. As XRP rises to the second position in the cryptocurrency rankings, there is a real chance that it will surpass Bitcoin's market capitalization entirely. He anticipates that massive sums of money will flow straight into XRP ETFs from those Bitcoin ETFs. The crazy part comes next. He isn't even counting on 2030 to come to pass. He is placing a strong wager that it will drop by, even if we don't witness it blow up during this rally or the next alt season. What gives him his confidence? Flashback to 2010 when developers like David and Stefan were working to advance Bitcoin, which was 3 decades behind schedule. But guess what? During the interview, other developers decided not to implement the necessary hard forks to accomplish this. Stefan Thomas lays out this shocking revelation during a conversation with David. Well, he is examining all of these proposals for Bitcoin hard forks that date back to 2010, correct? Alright, he says, if we're going to wait for all these changes to actually happen, we're looking at about 30 years that might as well be forever for anyone trying to make a difference. What then occurs? David, in essence, Arthur Brito and Jed McCaleb say, nope, we're not waiting around. And they proceed to develop the XRP ledger, as it is currently known. This is where things start to get interesting. Stephen Thomas talks about becoming a member of the OpenCoin team, which later changed its name to Ripple Labs, and he claims that it seemed as though he had actually accelerated time, leaping forward 3 decades in a single motion. They did more than simply fix Bitcoin and move on with the XRP ledger. They completely redesigned the system from the ground up with the goal of making it faster, more robust, and far more scalable than Bitcoin. Additionally, it had built-in support for multiple currencies, which Stefan found particularly intriguing as one of the ideal features on Bitcoin's wishlist for a hard fork. In summary, they assert that the XRP ledger has developed literally 30 years before Bitcoin, so why should you think it is the better technology? So let's listen to David Schwartz explain it to you. Bitcoin and the majority of other blockchains today were our first ideas, and there weren't many examples that went against them. Every block is produced by someone. They have a system in place to determine who makes the block. Whoever wins the sort of proof of work lottery is the winner in Bitcoin. Well, according to the theory, the stakers are chosen based on their wealth, but a leader is chosen who gets to create the block. Furthermore, we discovered that the consensus algorithm of the XRP ledger was leaderless as early as 2012. No one who produced the block was present. In essence, they are locking up this $19 million that they purchased in XRP. Consider it. More and more businesses will be carrying out this exact action. And guess what happens as they continue to purchase all of this XRP? It's being taken off the market. What do you think will happen next then? We're going to see true scarcity take effect. Speaking of noteworthy announcements, Sol Farm will soon be added to the XRP ledger. I'll explain what this means to you. In fact, it's a DeFi protocol that connects digital assets with physical lending, providing you with much greater stability in these wildly erratic markets. To generate strong returns supported by actual legitimate businesses, you can stake or supply liquidity, not merely a hype for token speculation. Additionally, they have a laser-like focus on regulatory compliance, which gives everyone more security and confidence. There are 3 vault options available to you from Soil. You have flexible low-risk access to liquid at 5% APR. For longer-term private credit exposure, there is also credit available at 8% APR. Finally, if you want those quantitative strategies with higher risk, yield at 7% APR. In other words, you have complete control over your rewards, lockup times, and risk tolerance. I'm very interested to see how this project turns out, as if it were just another entry in the XRP ledger. And man, it seems like everyone is rushing to start yield farming at this very moment. But here's my honest opinion on the matter. Until appropriate regulations are put in place, it's still very risky and you could actually lose some of your XRP. Now take a look. We are extremely pleased to be collaborating with UC Berkeley to launch their brand new Digital Assets Center. Therefore, the College of Engineering at UC Berkeley is developing this incredible research center that will use digital twin and blockchain technologies to totally rethink how physical assets are recorded, valued, validated, and traded in our digital world. $1.3 million in Ripple USD is being used as the foundational funding for this new center for digital assets through Ripple's University Blockchain Research Initiative. That is Ripple's stablecoin, which is backed by the US dollar. Although Ripple has always been a strong advocate for education, this feels especially important because it also emphasizes digital innovation and asset technology that they plan to continue developing. And man, I'm really excited to see where this thing goes, but take a moment to consider it. My friends, if cryptocurrency begins to appear in real university courses, such as at one of those prestigious name-brand universities, that's your clue that it's looking to the future. At this point, Harvard has been teaching blockchain XRP and XLM for years. Now that they've finally realized that this isn't just a Bitcoin story, other schools are catching up and following suit. The foundation of the financial system of the future will undoubtedly be digital assets. This cashback card, Epic One, was just released by Epic, designed specifically for the XRP ecosystem. With this incredibly vast global merchant network, it was spent in more than 180 countries. We're talking about actual cashback of up to 8% in XRP for each and every transaction. With no sly hidden costs, it is made to be adopted globally. Suddenly, everyone is racing to introduce these card products, and these credit cards are giving out XRP rewards, because wait a minute, they are well aware of XRP's popularity. They understand that the demand for XRP is skyrocketing from both large institutions and regular people, and that everyone is vying for a piece. Look, people must take advantage of this chance while it's still favorable. Trump is essentially suggesting that stimulus checks be issued once more. Each taxpayer receives between $1,000 and $2,000, which is paid for by tariff revenue. This is where things start to get interesting. You can be sure that a significant portion of the money will be going directly into cryptocurrency if everyone gets a stimulus check in the middle of alt season. My stimulus from the previous time is still sitting pretty in XRP, after all. I immediately used that money to purchase XRP as soon as it landed in my account. So yes, even though it's in a different format, I still have my original stimulus check. Consider the potential impact on the market. People will want to invest that money, for example. Consider it rationally. You're attempting to combat insane inflation. You want to guard against the dollar depreciating. Well, where do you invest your funds? Crypto, of course. Here's the problem though. Bitcoin, isn't it? Retail